Hey guys, I'm Logan. Welcome back. This is the long drive once again. So last time we left off here, we had a fairly substantial crash followed by another one because I was stupid. Don't know if Fizzlock is working in the back of the van now, but we're definitely not doing that. That's what caused a crash last time. Whew. Alright. So we had to reset our odometer, so we went about 8/10 of 1 kilometer already. There's 1 kilometer. Do that 50 more times, and hey, there we go. Alright. Nope, sorry, thought I saw something there. Oh, hope you guys are doing well. It's been another week. Fall is settling in quite nicely for me and my area. I love fall. I don't know if I've told you guys before. I love fall. Fall is my season. Although the older I get, the more I have this theory that you identify more, not really identify, but you enjoy more the season that you were born in. So my birthday is October. I told you guys a couple weeks ago my birthday was coming up, and I love fall. Fall in October, Halloween, all of it. I love it. Inject it directly into my veins. If you could give me like a fall IV and inject everything fall related into my veins, I would be so happy. But I'm also more of a apple and cinnamon kind of guy. Not a pumpkin spice person. I mean, it's alright, but I would take apple pie and ice cream over pumpkin pie any day of the week. But that being said, it's just a theory, but you identify more with the season you were born in. Like I said, I was born in fall. I love fall. Everything about fall. If I could find a place that was fall year round, like fall temperatures, the crispness in the air, all of it, I want that in my veins 100% of the time. I would live there in a heartbeat. I would pack my bags and my cat, and we would be gone. She didn't look at me funny when I said that, so I assume she's okay with it. There's a spook house. Definitely not stopping there. Do not have the time or energy for that. But yes, fall, love Halloween, love spooky season, love just everything about it. The temperatures, the air, the corn mazes, the apples, the pumpkins, all of it. I want it all the time in my veins, along with coffee. Just hook me up to 2 of those, a bag of coffee, a bag of fall, right into my veins. I'm a happy camper. Oh, good stuff. So I'm currently waiting on a package from Amazon. I don't know if you guys order anything online. I'm sure most, if not all of you do. Everybody orders from Amazon and Walmart or Target, whatever, stores are in your country, your area, whatever, that deliver all the time now. It's just kind of the way of the world. But I've noticed, and I guess this just happened when so many websites and stores started doing direct-to-door shipping, but all the delivery services have kind of went downhill. Like, they used to have stellar reputations for being on time or courteous or not missing deliveries, whatever. They all do it now. Some are worse than others. Like in my area, the Amazon branded delivery trucks are hands down the best. You get an Amazon branded delivery truck, they're parking wherever they have to. They are carrying boxes to your door, stacking them neatly, taking a nice little pretty picture, and then going on about their day, maybe give you a wave, and off they go. UPS usually ranks second. They get your stuff to you. It's usually not delayed. It's on time. They take the pictures, but they'll chuck it at the door. They'll chuck it at your porch, whatever. If you don't know, I don't know if it's a universal saying, to chuck something is to throw. If they throw it at your door, at your porch, whatever, it is what it is. They snap a hasty, blurry picture and off they go. Now, what I found interesting one time, I had ordered something. They claimed it was delivered. Could not find it anywhere at all. And they sent me this little blurry picture as proof that it was delivered. All it was a blurry, moving blur picture taken from a camera phone, and all it was a barcode. Oh, I think that package I said I was waiting for might be here. Is it? It is not an Amazon branded van. It is just a white van. Interesting. But, yeah, like, they just kind of did that, claimed it was delivered. I looked everywhere. It had never been delivered. Contacted UPS, fussed. Somehow miraculously showed up the next day. Still do not understand that one. Then there's FedEx. FedEx around here has a horrible reputation, which, I mean, they used to be great. I mean, you look back at like Castaway, and back then FedEx was amazing. They had a great, stellar reputation. Now, around here, if you see FedEx pull up, your package is late, it's damaged, if it shows up at all. I've heard a lot of people have similar experiences, and apparently a lot of that is due to the fact that FedEx contracts out a lot of their shipping now, at least their last mile stuff. So they may actually say, oh yeah, FedEx, we deliver, but you're getting John Boy's delivery service out of the next town over, who slapped a UPS or a FedEx sticker on his truck and wears a FedEx vest because he's being contracted, but he doesn't care. So FedEx really doesn't know what's going on. Then you have XPO. Lord have mercy, XPO. I don't think, at least I can't remember if I ever told you guys the saga of me and XPO. Long story short, ordered something from Sam's Club, which is like a Costco if you don't know. And it was supposed to have been delivered by XPO. Multiple missed deliveries later, they're lying to me, telling me like multiple things. On the same day they don't deliver it. Like first they'll say it's out for delivery, and then all of a sudden, well, it's not going to be delivered today because, well, the driver just, they had too many deliveries and they couldn't make it in time. So instead of finishing their route, they just turned around and went home. But then you ask somebody else 20 minutes later why they just turned around and went home, or why it wasn't delivered, and they told me it was because the truck broke down. And then another day it was cold, and they said, oh, well, they didn't trust the weather. Like, it was cold. It didn't rain, it didn't snow, it didn't sleet or hail. There was no dangerous weather. They just didn't want to deliver it. And so multiple calls, multiple lies. I finally get through to like the local distribution center that supposedly has it. They lie to me. One day it's, like I said, the trucks broke down, or they had too many deliveries or whatever. But what gets me, right, is you order something from UPS. They knock on your door, which nobody knocks on the door anymore. They slap a label that says, sorry, we missed you. But I digress again. So they show up, say nobody's here. Cool, we'll come back tomorrow. Okay, that's fine, I get it. Well, XPO decided that's not how they want to play ball. They decided that for my area, which at the time was right off of a major interstate, I think I could be on the interstate in 15 minutes. They said that my area was too small and out of the way for them to deliver more than, and I kid you not, once a week. They had one delivery day for my area. So if they were too busy, I'm using air quotes like you guys can see it, if they were too busy to get to you, well, tough luck, Buttercup. You might get it next week, assuming they're not too busy again. Or if the truck breaks down, they don't take it back to the yard and put it on another truck and get it out. They wait until the next week. If the driver says, oh, well, it's too hazardous, you wait a week because they didn't feel like getting out. So finally, after, like I said, multiple missed deliveries and everything, I just called the store, canceled my order, and said, forget it. Like, I'm never buying anything from you all again that has to be shipped if you continue to use XPO. Like, I just will not do it. But then I think for me, the icing on the cake with all of that was I went on like Yelp or Google, one of them, left a horrible review along with all of the others, which I'm pretty sure the good reviews were planted by them because it was like, 5 stars, XPO was amazing, they white glove delivered my thing perfect. But then the majority of them were like 1 star, item never delivered, 1 star, damaged, whatever. So I go on, leave a horrible review. updating along the way, saying, hey, kind of like, here's what I went through, here's what happened, here's updates of them lying about things. And I think after the first post, maybe the first update, I get a response from supposedly the owner of XPO. So it's just the listing, the owner, not like the guy that owns XPO, of course. And they're like, we're so sorry to hear about your experience. Please contact us here to help with a resolution. So I called them. They gave me another runaround, supposedly opened a case, quote unquote, at the local depot to have them explain what happened. And, well, that case cannot be closed until a manager directly reaches out and contacts you. Well, friends, that was years ago, and I've still never been contacted. So either they're full of shit, which I think is the case, or they have that case just sitting there open and have for years, and it's just going to sit there and be open until the day the company shuts its doors forever, or they get a new management system and they don't import the open cases over. So the whole thing's ridiculous. I mean, shipping has just went downhill so badly in the last few years, and of course you can blame it on a variety of things. A lot of people still want to try to use the whole pandemic excuse, like, oh, well, things are just still really bad because of pandemic shortages. Prices are really high because of the pandemic. Like, that was 2 years ago. People haven't worn a mask or even thought about COVID, for the most part, in their daily lives for a year and a half. 2 years. Those don't really fly as excuses anymore. And of course, once things kind of sort of start to get back to normal from all of that nonsense, then they go and say, oh, well, this ship has gotten stuck in the Panama Canal, causing backups for months, and, well, all the goods and things that you bought were on these ships, but they're now stuck in the canal and waiting to get to you because some jackass captain got his ship turned sideways. So once that was gone, and then it's, oh, well, we can't run at full capacity, and we're back ordered because during that time we were running at lower capacity and orders were still coming in, and so we're just severely back ordered. But we're not going to recall our entire labor force or build a new factory to meet demand because, well, that was just a surge in demand. Once all that goes away, then we're stuck with a plant that we can't utilize. Which I get that part. Honestly, I do. Like, I don't know if you guys know, I have a master's degree in business. I get that. I understand it. You don't want to spin up a whole factory just to get caught up on back orders. That's a recipe for disaster. But, like, you got to do something. You can't keep laying people off and say, times are hard, we got to lay you off and raise prices on everything we sell. And then, of course, be a publicly traded company and your earnings disclosed and say, oh yeah, we reported record breaking profit last year or last quarter. Well, you told the entire world that you had to fire Janie's dad, who's worked at that plant for 30 years making widgets, that you had to fire him because, well, we just can't afford it. Even though he was working overtime, wasn't getting caught up on the back orders, and you reported a record-breaking profit. Yeah, how exactly does that work? Because it's all greed. Greed, pure and simple, my friends. That's all it is. Anyway, I'm gonna get off that. That's too much deep talk and close to political for me. But anyway, my package was just delivered. I'm excited about that. Been getting a lot of stuff from Amazon lately. I'm redoing bits of my house. Like, one of the things that I've been working on is like lighting fixtures. So I've been replacing a lot of overhead lights, which I don't use very often. I think I've probably mentioned it before. I'm a lamp guy. I'm an indirect, off to the side light kind of guy. I would much rather have natural light through windows, and when I can't have that, lamps, floor and table lamps for days. Every room in my house has at least one lamp, usually 2 to 3, just because I like lamps. I would much rather have the soft, warm, inviting glow of a lamp casting from one area and illuminating, a corner or whatever, than a big overhead light which is just glaring down on you. So I've been replacing a lot of those just with ones that kind of match the lamps that I already have. Which somewhere along the way I kind of started going for more of a gothic industrial kind of look. I don't know how that kind of happened, but it works. It's working so far. But yeah, so I've been having lamps and stuff delivered. I fell into the electric salt and pepper craze, like the grinders. So I used to just have, your standard twisty grinders. Then I started seeing all these cooking videos and stuff, and everybody's using the electric grinders. I thought, man, that's really cool. Like, it's got a little LED light on the bottom. You just press a button and go burr, and it grinds out salt, pepper, whatever. So I was at Aldi one day, and they had a set. I picked them up, loved them. But they were battery powered, and they wanted like 4 AAAs. I don't know if you guys have tried to buy batteries lately. AAAs are not cheap. Batteries in general are not cheap. So each of those wanted 4 AAAs. So that's a solid 8-pack of batteries every time. And then for some reason the pepper mill never ground as well as the salt. And so it was just kind of, I used them, but I started resorting to a hand ground pepper mill or pre-ground, which, as much as I hate it, I actually like pre-ground pepper for macaroni and cheese. I know it's weird, but like the old school, you ate it as a kid with the powder, macaroni and cheese, you sprinkle a little bit of pepper on top, real finely ground. Love it. My mom used to do it. I made fun of her. I tried it once, fell in love, do it all the time. But I ordered some new salt and pepper grinders. They don't match, which kind of annoyed me, but I only got them one at a time. But they're USB rechargeable, USB-C. So I can recharge them, and I don't have to worry about buying batteries all the time. Honestly, anymore, anything that I buy, I'm looking to see if I can get a USB-C rechargeable version. I'll pay a little bit more if I have to, as opposed to batteries. Hate buying batteries. I hate swapping out batteries. Because you have to store them. You have to find somewhere to put them. You have to worry about, are they still good? Have they lost their charge? Whatever. Versus a rechargeable lithium ion. You just plug a cable into 20, 30 minutes later, whatever. It's fully charged. You're good to go. Biggest problem with that, is the battery's losing capacity. But even if it gets to the point where it's like, okay, well, let me just plug in my salt and pepper shaker for 5 minutes before I want to cook. Like, that's not a big deal. So, like, I've got the salt and pepper shakers that are rechargeable. I've gotten some little under cabinet lights that are USB-C rechargeable. They're great. They have little magnets. They just plunk, and there they are. They're amazing. The cool thing about those is you can actually charge 2 at once. Like, it has a little splitter on the USB cable. Charges 2 of them at one time. Super nifty. Love it. Got my mom this little LED campfire thing. It's supposed to be like a little night light or something. Looks like a little campfire. I don't think it's going to work very great for a night light, but it's kind of cool. I've been playing with it since it came in. And just waiting to give it to her. Super cool. USB rechargeable. Don't have to worry about it. Oh, good times, good times. And look at that, we're already pushing 50 kilometers, but we've not done anything but rant and rave. And then, whoop, there we go. And drive. No wrecks today so far, nothing out of the ordinary. And we've done our 50K. Not bad, my friends, not bad at all. So I know we talked about doing 100K at a time. I don't know if that's really going to be feasible. Because let's see, we're sitting at about 20 minutes. So 50 and 20 minutes, assuming we could make the same speed and everything, we're looking at about 40 to 45 minutes to do 100 kilometers every episode. Not terrible. We've done plenty of 40-minute episodes, 45-minute episodes, where we work on the cars, where we transfer to a new car, and only get 5 kilometers. Like, it's not the biggest deal, but it's still one of those things where it's like, that's 40 straight minutes of me just rambling, and I really feel like with nothing happening but driving, that really pushes it on keeping your attention. So I know I've said it before, like, I designed this series to be more of a put it on in the background while you're doing something else. Like, you don't have to be eyes on the whole time. It's like a podcast with visuals, if you will. So you don't have to be paying critical attention the whole time, and if you do miss a wreck or something crazy, you just rewind a couple of seconds, bing, there you are. So it's not like I expect somebody to just be sitting here intently listening the whole time. But I also don't want to drag these out to where they're 2-hour episodes and y'all are just like, oh my god, a 2-hour episode again. Like, I can't fit that into my day or my schedule. So you just don't even bother anymore. And then I just put out a standard 30-minute episode. 3 weeks later, and you're like, well, it's already been a month since I've watched. I have missed out on 300 kilometers. It's a new car. It's a new whatever. We don't know what's going on. So I get that. I've had that happen before. My biggest issue is when they do live streams, continuing one they've been doing in like a series format. So that would be like me getting on and live streaming for 4 hours this drive, and then going, alright guys, that was a 4-hour live stream. We covered 500 kilometers, great times. And then the next episode picks up at the end of that. You know, maybe part of that was swapping to a new car or exploring something, and then I talk about that later on. Well, you don't know what I'm talking about because you didn't watch the live stream. You don't know how I got a new car, or you think you missed an episode because you didn't watch the live stream. I mean, there's a whole world of time zones, and people work, they have lives, they have school, they, have whatever. Some people work night shifts, some people work graveyard, whatever. So for me, if I'm like, I'm going live from 5 to 7 p.m. Okay, well that requires you to know that I'm in the Eastern time zone of the United States. Well, that's cool and all. California's 3 hours behind. I'm going live at 2 o'clock their time, 2 p.m. Well, the majority of people that I imagine are watching these are in school or work at that time. Well, they can't watch me live stream. If you're a European friend, you're in England, Scotland, Wales, wherever over in Europe, stuff like that. Well, you got to add multiple hours, 5, 6, 7 hours ahead. And then you're going, well, crap, that's, 5 o'clock Logan's time. That's 9, 10, 11, 12, midnight my time. And I got to work the next day. I can't be up, watching somebody live stream for 2 hours until 2 a.m. my time when I've got to work, or I've got kids or a family, whatever. Maybe you live on a farm. Maybe you have to get up at the crack of dawn to tend to farm animals and crops. And you simply... So remember a couple weeks ago, I had mentioned I usually only have to do cuts when there's like a phone call, someone knocks at the door. Yeah, well, when that happens, and it takes more than like 2 minutes, I completely forget what I was saying. So I don't know what I was saying. But anyway, we're passing through here. We've done 60 kilometers. But, what was I saying? I think it was just about these episodes being too long and then kind of getting back into the swing of it and people not watching them. So that's really all there is to say about that. But today we have made good time, good progress. I think we were sitting at about 22, 25 minutes. And we've already covered 60 kilometers. So yeah, I mean, theoretically we could do about 40 minutes and hit 100 kilometers. Part of me kind of wants to just keep going and see if we can get to 100 really quick. I mean, we've already done 61. I mean, what's another 39, right? That's no time, especially at these speeds. And we're kind of going downhill. And see, I can even let off the gas and coast. We're going downhill. We're not losing too much speed. Now we just gotta hope a rock doesn't jump out in front of us and send us careening through the air like last week. So let's see, if that's 140, that amount of space is about what? 20, 25 kilometers an hour. So that should be about 150. No, 160. We've lost a little bit as the road's flattened. Is that the road up there? Yeah, so let's go this way. See what's across the desert. We'll shave a little bit off the end of the trip, though not too much. But it's fine. I think the van definitely looks a little better getting that big blue barrel off the top. And of course, I mean, we're burning through some gas, so we're constantly losing some weight. Which is kind of funny if you think about it. Like, you put all this weight on the vehicle, whether it be in gas or supplies, whatever. Well, we eat the food, we go to the bathroom, we burn the fuel, and the vehicle is just constantly getting lighter. Kind of funny. Makes sense, but kind of funny to think about in a way. Oh, alright. Let's see here. So there's the road. We detoured this way because yep, there it is. Then actually it looks like it goes out and curves back. So if we kind of angle right about here, which I noticed earlier, look how slow it looks like we're moving. Where we kind of pulled back and zoomed in. And the more we do it, the slower it looks like we're going. Like, we're still moving very quickly. And if we do this, we can definitely see it. But pulling this just makes it look like we're moving so slowly. And you can see the wheels, they're booking it. But just the way we've zoomed out, or backed out the camera and then zoomed in, it's giving the illusion that we're just going extremely slowly. Oh, alright. Back on the road again, pushing 70 kilometers. Big dust storm up ahead. So the recording software is claiming 36 minutes. But I think at least 5 of those was from unexpected visitors. So that's not too bad. Not too bad. Don't think I'm expecting any packages today. I'd mentioned that. Was it last time? Last week or earlier? I don't even know anymore. I know I talk about things, I can't remember when I did. But I don't think I'm expecting any more of those, so that's good. We shouldn't have any more interruptions. We should just be able to finish knocking this out with a lot more progress down on the road. Look at us, going so fast. Oh, not paying attention like we should because we're looking at the van. It would have been really easy right there to spin out. I'm honestly kind of surprised we didn't. But I think a lot of it is, like in real life, being calm and not overreacting. Like if I had jammed the wheel the other way or slammed on the brakes, we would have spun out. Possibly started flipping and doing all kinds of craziness. But by just remaining calm and tapping, there we go, in the direction we need to go, we were fine. There was one episode, many episodes ago, I don't remember which one it was, but somebody had actually commented that they could hear the stress in my voice. I think we were going down a crazy steep hill really fast. And someone was like, I can hear the tension in your voice right there. Which was great. It cracked me up. I was like, well, you probably could. You probably could. It was great. Oh. 73.8. Come on. Let's hit 74. And 74. So I'm curious. Like, let me know how many of you are watching these in double speed. Because I about guarantee you could. And cut these videos down to like 15-20 minutes. Because I'm a millennial, I've said it before. One of the things that apparently Gen Z likes to make fun of us for is our cadence, like our speaking cadence. We tend to speak more slowly than like Gen Z does, or I guess even Gen X. And so they're like, oh, it's that millennial, like slow talk. Not the millennial pause, which is a whole nother thing. that I had to look up because, God forbid, Gen Z actually makes sense. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Gen Z. But, yeah, the millennial pause, and then the, like, frustration with how slowly we talk. Partly for me, I was born and raised in the South, as you guys know, in the foothills of Appalachia. And so a lot of it for me is trying to consciously enunciate and give off as small of a hillbilly accent as possible. Ooh, okay, that looks good. 77. Probably need to... Well, I started to say we probably need to sleep through the night, but honestly, I don't know that it's that big of a deal. I really don't. Because if you think about it, I mentioned it a few weeks ago, the only reason we ever really slept through the night was to make sure that we could see things if we pass them. It's really not any easier to see rocks on the road in the daytime because we have the street lights and our headlights. Now without our headlights, that'd be a different story, of course, like this. But with our high beams and the street lights, I don't really see a reason why we couldn't just drive through the night, especially when we do the pull out zoom in, because like I said, it feels like we're going super slow. So that gives us more time to react. So I think we're just going to keep on chugging. We'll try knock out these last 20 kilometers. And that'll put us... Oh lord, well, where the... Let's see, last week we were at like 4,080 something. And I think we did 50-ish. So that's like 4,130. So if we do 100 today, like 4,230. So I mean, we're getting close to like a quarter of the way through that final little stretch, which will be amazing. And we just keep chugging along. Man, that's gonna be awesome if we can knock that out. Ooh, guys, it's exciting. We're really getting close. A few more of these 100-kilometer long episodes, and we will have it knocked out. Oh, that's exciting. I don't know how I'm gonna react when we get to the end of the road. Like, I know some people really overhype it and they scream and yell and like, oh my god, we did it. And yeah, like the first time it's really cool. I've beaten this game a few times already. So you just don't expect that reaction from me. Like, it's going to be great. I'm going to be excited, especially those of you that have hung out with me through the whole thing or most of the whole thing. Like, it's going to be amazing. But don't expect me to be screaming and jumping and yelling. That's just not me anyway. Like, that's one thing that like family and significant others and stuff have always struggled with. And part of that is just because, like, you can give me something, say for Christmas or my birthday. It's the greatest gift I've ever gotten. I love it. My face and my tone doesn't really convey that. So I have to almost over-emote so that people understand that. Comes off a little autistic. I'm not autistic. I'm not on the spectrum. But it kind of comes off a little bit that way. Like, I have to almost pretend. But it's just because even though I'm really excited and I really like what I was given or whatever, it's all inside. I think the most I've emoted in quite some time was when I earned my master's degree. And it showed, like, I finished the final assignments and papers, got everything turned in, and I talked to my counselor, mentor, advisor, I forget exactly, advisor. Was it advisor? Mentor? I don't remember. Anyway, my advisor, mentor, whatever that I had at the school, I contacted her and I said, hey, I've just submitted the last of everything. What do we do now? And she said, you're done. Like, it was just that wave of relief and excitement that I got from having turned in and had my final assignments graded. And for her to say, it's on us now. Like, we need to send over all of your coursework to the registrar. We need to have it validated that you have passed the courses, that you've done everything that we've required to earn your master's degree. Once that was done, it was conferred, the date was slapped on the diploma, and it was shipped out to me in the mail. And so, I mean, it's hanging right up behind me. And so I think that was the most excited I had been in quite some time. And it definitely showed. And then, of course, the time I was with my ex-wife, and I wanted to celebrate. So, like, when I was getting my master's, I don't know if I've told the story or not, but I didn't tell anybody in my family outside of, obviously, my wife at the time, my ex-wife now. She knew that I was going to grad school, and my parents. And that was it. My grandparents didn't know, aunts, uncles, cousins, nobody else knew. People at work knew, things like that, of course, but family-wise, just my immediate family, parents and spouse. So when I was done, I'd submitted everything. My mom planned a little party for me. Nobody knew what it was for. She just created these little things that said, we want to celebrate Logan and his achievements. Join us for a party and surprise announcement, blah, blah, blah. Well, one thing you have to know about my grandfather, he wants to be the center of attention. Period. He wants to be the center of attention. So if he thinks there's a party, if he can know something before other people, he wants to. So when he got that announcement, he called my mom, said, hey, I got this announcement, what's it about? She goes, it's a surprise. He's like, well, what's it about? I need to know. Do I need to bring something? She goes, it's a surprise. Everything will be taken care of. So, because he likes to be the center of attention and know everything, he shows up like 20, 30 minutes early. Mom and Dad went to this local barbecue place, great food, and got like barbecue and sides and all this stuff. We went early and we're setting up. He shows up like 30 minutes early, like food is still being reheated and all this jazz, and he shows up, well, there's a cake. So my mom, knowing her father smartly, didn't have anything put on the cake to indicate what it was. It's like it didn't say, congratulations on your graduation. It didn't have a little like college like graduation hat, cap. It didn't have anything. It just said congratulations, Logan. And she specifically, because of course I was married at the time, didn't put my spouse's name on there because she didn't want people to think it was a pregnancy announcement. It was not. So he, of course, was she pregnant? It's like, no. It would have said Logan and spouse's name. Well, he gets there and he still assumes that she's pregnant for whatever reason. This is some big pregnancy announcement, whatever. Well, he gets there. He comes running up. He tries to say hi to everybody. You can see him looking around for any indication, like any kind of decoration, any kind of wording, lettering that may tell him why we're all getting together. Well, there's nothing. Mom was great about it, super smart. And so he decides, well, I'm going to go and try to sneak and look at the cake. Well, he lifts up the top and all it says is, congratulations, Logan. And so once again, was she pregnant? It's like, wouldn't that have her name on it? It's a team effort. So he's getting frustrated. He's like, well, I'm hungry. And he starts trying to get in the food. And we bap his hand away. We're like, no. It's like, food will be ready and served when everybody gets here and we're ready. So that drove him absolutely nuts. So of course, the whole family gets together and I say, well, as you know, along with changing jobs, which I did while I was in school, I have some other news about what's been going on. And that's when I was like, I was in graduate school. Like I went back and I finished all the coursework as of, I think it was like the day before, 2 days before, something like that. My degree has been conferred, which for me was a really big deal. I am at current the only person in my family who has a graduate degree. My cousin has a bachelor's and my parents have associate's degrees, but I'm the only person in my family who has an advanced degree. And so for me, that was a really big deal and something to be proud of. And so I emoted quite a bit over that. But guys, that story has taken us to over 100 kilometers. Can you believe it? 101 kilometers. Timer's reading 48 minutes, but time I take out my unexpected visitors, we're probably going to be at about 40 minutes on this episode. So guys, we've done it. That is 100 kilometers in the book. In one episode, so that is amazing. So guys, I appreciate you so much for watching and hanging out, listening to my stories and my rambles, as always. So guys, I'm Logan. This is The Long Drive. I will catch you next time.